Okay, so my upper edge is stitched all the way around and my straps are attached. I want you to have me check this before you do the reinforcing, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that reinforcing. So your strap is loose down here at the bottom, and we want that to be not only attached but also have some extra heavy thread on there. So I played around with the Baby Lock Rachel, and the stitch that I came up to use is the stitch number 4. And for people who know this machine, they're probably thinking, Miss Jones, what are you doing? Because stitch number 4 is actually a stretch zigzag. It's meant to be used to sew seams on stretch fabric. But it makes a nice tight little zigzag that will give reinforcing without me having to adjust anything except for changing the stitch. So if you notice I have a scrap on here, and that's because I want you to see what this particular stitch does. And so it is a zigzag, but it is a really narrow kind of sideways zigzag, and the machine's going back and forth like this as well as side to side as it's stitching. Okay, so I would practice that a little bit on a scrap before you actually do it on your bag, just so you know what it's going to do and what it's going to feel like. So needle up, press your foot up, and pull off to the left. And what you see is a really narrow zigzag. It's really narrow, but it's also almost kind of folding back on itself, which is a good thing to do if you're trying to reinforce something. So that's what I'm going to do that's the stitch that I'm going to use to reinforce the bottom edge of the strap. Now, very quickly, I am just going to put one pin in, and I'm putting it in backwards, okay, so the point's to the top. And I'm going to do that on all of my straps so that they're laying flat. The other thing about this particular stitch is that we need to secure the ends of it, but it does not backstitch. It's one of the special ones that won't backstitch. What it does instead is stitches 4 stitches in place. So, and we're only going to use it right across where the strap is. So I want to start by backstitching, or hitting the backstitch button. It's just going to reinforce it. And I'm going to start right at the edge of the strap. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to hit the backstitch button, and it's going to backstitch and hold it. And if you notice, 4 stitches. And then what I'm hoping that it'll do is stitch right across that one right there. I want to line it up so that the center of my foot is right about where that line of stitching is. And then I'm just going to do that right across there. So the center of the foot is going right across that previous line of stitching. When I get to the other side of the strap, I'm going to hit the backstitch button and hold it. 1, 2, 3. Stops on its own. Needle up, press her foot up, pull this off and clip the threads. And I got pretty close. Mine's a tiny tad off right there. I got a little, it's not quite there, but that's okay. It's close enough. It just should be as close to being on top of that previous line of stitching as possible. I'm going to do this one more time, and then you're going to do all 4 straps. You're going to finish those on your own. But let me come around over here, and we're going to do one more. Oh my goodness, my straps are all twisted here. Let's line this up again. Okay, so I'm at the far side of the strap. I want to line up the center of the foot with the previous line of stitching. Hold on to my thread, needle down, and get that underneath the foot there real quick so I can hold it in the back. I'm going to hold my back stitch button, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to get my pin out of the way because I have it under the foot. And I'm going to do that stitch number 4 again, right on top of the previous straight line of stitching. When I get to the other side, I am going to hit the back stitch button, 1, 2, 3. What it's doing is it's stitching 3 stitches in place, which will lock the stitching. needle up, press your foot up, pull it out, and cut your threads. And then don't forget to go back with a pair of snips and cut all of these things really close, because that's going to make our bag look neat and professional. All right, so I need to go and finish the last 2 straps, and then I'm going to give it a quick press, which I am not going to show you how to do. I want you to do that yourself. Just slide it on the ironing board and give it a good overall press, and then you're ready for your final grading.